Okay, let's take a look here. Have you uploaded anything yet to Google Drive that you want to talk about, or do you have any questions about?
Yes, I upload my recent questions, and I don't know if the thesis statement is correct.
Okay. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's so videos, that looks, for now that's fine. We can leave that. Okay, so looking at your first three topics, what can you explain kind of the logic, how you want to organize these three sections?
The first one is videos and teaching. So, well, I was thinking to describe well, at the beginning I thought that I could mention something about that videos are part of authentic materials and they are using it. But then I thought that maybe it was irrelevant. So I just have to write something about what are videos.
Because the most important part is captions in film. So use of captions inside the EFO classroom. Now, do you feel you have some information that you can talk about in this section? Like some research and
I found
books and okay. See?
Oh, yes.
See? Okay. All right. So before you want to talk about listening strategies. And so listening strategies, some examples, or
I was looking yesterday something related, but I haven't found anything about it.
Alright, so captions. Alright, so are there any strategies that you're going to talk about here in captions? Because these are for videos, right? So this would be kind of related to videos as a teaching tool, or no?
Yes, maybe. Well, I think maybe I have to.
Because maybe I don't know exactly what you're going to talk about here, but maybe this videos goes down here, and you talk about listening strategies first that relate to. I don't know, that have some relationship to video, or do you, I don't know, the use of captions video. So one is the listening skill. Maybe you talk about what it is to practice the listening skill. I mean, what that means. Maybe I don't know. One way is to go from the general to the specific. So you can talk about authentic material and start getting into video, and then use of video, certain either techniques or techniques that are related to captions, if there's certain techniques that you find. It could be types of video, so maybe it's captions but different types. So maybe there's different ways. I mean, I'm just guessing. I haven't read the literature, but that's kind of what you need to think about. Like, so captions and videos. So can I classify those in some way, or can I classify a technique that involves video that relates to captions, or that builds up? I mean, maybe you do something else first with video, and then you lead up to captions, or it could be like a process. You could organize it First you do this, first you do
Yes,
this.
I found a concept, but I didn't put in the computer, teacher.
Okay.
Maybe I can send you by Canvas
Uh-huh.
because I had about that concept, so I didn't.
Do you remember the name
know.
of the?
No,
But you see what I mean? You can do it, the order you can do chronologically, or you can do a process, or you can go general to the specific, or you can go theoretical to the practical. I mean, but that's kind of where you need to kind of think about how you want to organize this. Could be the least important to the most important, which probably will be also, part of it, but
yes, my idea was to come from the most general to the more specific. So
okay.
Right, because videos, starting with videos, what are the videos, and then maybe.
Okay,
captions.
but the only thing is here you don't mention videos here. So whatever you do, it can be general to the specific, but it has to be kind of the same thing. Now, I mean, it has to be related. So maybe listening strategies. I don't know if you're going to talk about video in the listening strategies, or if you're just talking about listening strategies in general.
Maybe the ones that are related with videos and maybe films, video captions.
Okay. So then ask yourself, what would be the difference between this, any information you include here, and this information? And then when you have that clear in your mind, then articulate that in the heading. Make it clear in the heading.
Okay.
So it's clear for the reader. Right. And right now I'm just kind of, maybe it's already clear in your mind here because I'm not reading the text, but that's kind of what you need to try to think about as you develop these, that you're not talking about something here that really goes here. That's the thing. Yeah. So there's a lot of different ways to do it, but it just needs to, you need to decide how you want to organize it.
Teacher, do I have to relate the three topics? I mean, we are adding subheadings, but my idea is to go from the general to specific in each subheading, and at the end I could make I don't know, to say that.
Yeah, I know. I think I know what you're asking. You want to draw the whole argument. Okay, what you're doing here is basically an argumentative essay, but it's a little bit bigger. It's a thesis. So when you present something, you're going to be relating it to something that you've already mentioned. So what you're doing is you're drawing relationships. So you're going to talk about one topic first. Then you're going to talk about the counter argument, the other side, the negative, whatever that is. Then you introduce another topic and you do the same thing. It's good, but there's also another perspective. But you can reference what you've already mentioned. So instead of your question being, well, can I maybe describe the relationships at the end? Actually, you're going to be describing the relationships as you discuss it throughout. So when you talk about this section, section 2, it's going to have some link in some way to what you already mentioned in the first section in some way. Now, it's not going to be the same thing, but it's going to be part of the argument, right? Because all of this argument is necessary for you to state this thesis statement. Everything you say here in sections 1, 2, and 3 are supportive of this one sentence, this thesis statement. So it all should be related, and you should talk about the relationships between these, right? So that's kind of the idea, is to draw those relationships. And then at the end, the very last paragraph, you're going to restate your thesis statement and then introduce your research questions, because you will have spent all of this time in your literature review to make this clear. Think of all of this information in your literature review is to make it very clear what you mean by this one sentence. Right? It's like the argument, it's the support. Okay, so does that answer your question? Yes. So you're really, it's okay to mention what you mentioned in the first section, but it's now within the context of the second section, whatever you're talking about there. Same way in the third section, you may compare and contrast or show an alternative perspective, or just maybe you need this along with these to support this one sentence, but it should be kind of linked, and there should be transitions to say, you know, to link all of these to the one idea. So you don't really, I wouldn't like write out these three sections kind of in isolation and then at the end draw them together. No, bring it in at the, make it the link in within each section, because really the last paragraph is going to be your research questions and your thesis. That's it. There's no conclusion in the sense that you have to summarize everything you said. No, not in your literature review. Yeah, so we'll talk later about the conclusion paragraph of your entire thesis. That's a little bit different, right? But what I'm referring to is your literature review. In the last paragraph, you're not going to have kind of a quote unquote conclusion where you summarize what you talked about, or yeah.
Okay.
So
in the lit review, is the same as in last subject. For example, that we have to use I don't remember the percentage, but I think it was 80% of citations, but it's kind of, you mentioned something the last semester about.
Okay. Yeah. For direct quotes, no more than 15% direct quotes. You want more than half, that is 51% of all your sentences, of all the text, should be your original thought. That is a sentence with no citation. Those are the big percentages. No more than 15% of a direct quote, that is with quotation marks. And at least, most of what you say should be your original thought, should not include a citation. The citations are less, right, than your original ideas, that is sentences that are your own idea that do not require citations.
Yes.
See,
but
is that what?
Yes, but my ideas, well, the lit review is based on previous researches or previous.
The citations are there to support your original idea. So let's take an example. The meal plan. Thinking about a body paragraph. Okay. In the meal plan, we have 4 types of sentences. We have the main idea, or the topic sentence. We have E, which is the evidence, or citations. A is the analyze, where we compare and contrast or synthesize. And L is the link, that is the sentence that we use to transition from one idea, from one paragraph to the next paragraph. So, of those 4 types, your citations mainly are going to be only one type of sentence, and that is the evidence in most cases. All right, so let's say you have 5 sentences, right? You have a main idea, 2 sentences that are evidence, 1 sentence that analyzes, and 1 sentence that links. You're going to have 2 sentences, probably at the most, that are citations. 2 out of 5. Okay? So just think of it as, the citations. What you don't want, Ceci, is like citations.
Okay.
A veces pasan esto. That's what you don't want, because that's also a type of plagiarism. Even though you cited it correctly, the APA perfect, you have your references at the end. If your entire paper are just citations, that's plagiarism. So we have to be careful about over-citing. And so I think the easiest way to think about it is when you're developing your body paragraphs, think about, okay, the topic sentence, your main idea. Because those citations are there to support what you say. Right? So these topic sentences are called claims, and these are what I talk about in developing an argument in week 2. There's a link there for developing an argument. All these claims, these are topic sentences and headings that support each other, that all link together to form an argument, a point of view. And those are primarily your original ideas. And then you throw in citations to support what you said, so that I say, okay, you make a good argument, right? You make a good argument because you have citations. But you don't make a good argument if you're only citing somebody else. Right? Is that
okay?
see?
Yes.
So no more than 50% for direct quotes. So most of your citations are going to be paraphrased. Yeah. So that was, I think that's what you're asking,
Yes.
or the percentages, and so yeah, just be careful with that. So, what else? Any other questions about APA or at this point?
No, I don't think so.
No? Okay, so yeah, I think it's, yeah, go ahead and start writing up. We have about a week or so try to get this finished by the 28th, and you know, as I've said before, if you want me to look at something, if you have questions about something, you know, contact me at Canvas or come by and we can discuss something, or an article that you're not sure about. Just bring the article with you and we can look at it.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions or?
No.
No?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Well,
Okay,
I'll
thank
see
you
you
so much.
next week. You're welcome.
See you.
Bye. Have a good
Bye.
week.
You too.